Welcome to Roblox Simulator Tutorial Part 3. This is probably going to be the longest part. It's probably going to be the last part too, because I'm going to finish everything in this last video right here. We're going to make the item shop to buy new tools. The reason this is going to be the longest part is because this is the hardest thing to do. So, let's get started by actually making the shop. So, to make the shop, we're just going to go into Starters GUI, and we're going to go cook up a nice UI. So, start by making a screen GUI, and just make it in a little frame, and drag this frame to the center of your screen. Now, and of course, scale it up, because we want it to be a little bigger. And let's place it right there. Let's scale it up a little more, because this feels too small, to be honest. I mean, it's not like size matters, but anyways, now that we have this frame, we're just gonna name this backdrop frame. I'm gonna name it backdrop frame, and then we're gonna put another frame. This frame, though, however, it's gonna be a scrolling frame, so it's gonna be a little different. I mean, you could barely see it because they are the same color, but you're gonna take the scrolling frame and you're gonna put it like this right here. I mean, you don't have to put it like this. You could put it in any way you want. But me personally, actually, I'm going to put it inset a little bit. Actually. Like that. And then I prefer to make this a little darker of a color so it looks a little better. It could be any color you want to. You can make this blue, red, purple, whatever you want. You can even put a gradient on it and make it rainbow colored, but that's not appealing, I'm gonna be honest. I also like to make this tab bar, whoopsie, I forgot you can't slide it in studio. I like to make this tab bar a little small, more narrow, to be honest, because I don't really like how thick it is. So I'm also gonna change that real quick. Scroll bar thickness, I'm gonna change that to like 8, like 6. I'm also gonna make, if I can make it a little shorter, I like to do that, to be honest, too, but that's whatever. So as you can see, you could scroll through it with the scroll wheel, and it scrolls. It definitely scrolls. It does the do. It does what's due. So we're gonna name this item list, and then we're gonna make another frame, and we're gonna call this frame item info. So we're gonna make it slightly offset. It doesn't have to be offset. You can make it, you know, touch it if you want, but me personally, that's just not my style. That's not how I don't spin like that, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna copy the same color as this item list. I'm gonna copy the color and paste it here, so the same thing. And now we have a window that kind of looks like this. Actually, you want these to be a little shorter so you can fit the exit button. Hold up, because you want to be able to fit the close button. And I'm gonna make but first we're gonna call this frame item info. We're going to call it item info, and then we're going to make a button. We're going to make just a text button, and this button is going to be the close button. So, text button, not an image button. There's a big difference between the two. One has text, and the other one has an image. And then we're going to make this the same size. In order to do that, you could see right here these little pixels. That tells you how big it is, too. It's 15 by 15. That's okay. This text button, you can make it red, gray, whatever color you want. I'm going to make it gray, personally. And I'm also going to make the text just say X instead of button. I'm going to make it say X. You can make it say close or something. I'm just going to make it say X right there. So boom, now we have our close button. I don't like how small it is, actually. I want it a little bigger. Here, you can also make the size perfectly even by my thing just autosaved. You can make it a little bigger by going to here, size, and I'm just going to do 0, 17, 0, 17, to make it 17 by 17. Boom! Now we have our exit button. I'm also going to make it a little closer to the wall because I don't like it being that far. Never mind, I'm not making it closer to the wall because that messes it up. Anyways, and then we're gonna name this exit button too. We're gonna name this exit button. And then, now, it's time to get to the hard part. So, inside this backdrop frame, we're going to put a value. We're going to put multiple values, in fact. We're going to first start off with a string value. We're going to call this item name. We're going to make an int value. We're gonna name this item price, and then we're gonna make another int value, and then we're gonna name this CPS, or not CPS. No, we're gonna name this item clicks, I guess. We're gonna name it item clicks because that's how much clicks you're gonna get per item. And you can add a little more, but for now we're just gonna have item name, item price, and item clicks. I mean, this item clicks doesn't even matter. We're just putting this here so the player knows what they're getting into. And then in the item list, we're gonna start by just making a simple. We're gonna make our first quote unquote item. We're gonna make our first item. So if we want to hide this window, click View, UI Visibility, and get that thing out of our face. We're gonna make a second item. This is gonna be our tool too. So it's gonna be a very simple tool. It's gonna be just like my old tool. It's just gonna be a block. So let's go recreate that. Starter pack item. I'm just gonna not copy it, but copy the size. Bro, I've been listening to. Alright, we have a little object, and of course you want this to be a little different, so I'm gonna make this one red. I'm gonna make this one red, and make a new tool for it. And I'm also just gonna name this tool red tool. Again, you can name it whatever you want. You can make it look however you want, but just, you know, loosely follow this tutorial. And I'm also going to copy the same script in this item. I'm going to copy the same exact script, Control-C, and then paste into. But I'm also going to edit it, because I don't want this to give you 1, I want it to give you 2. Control-S to save. And then we're actually going to put this, instead of putting it in the starter pack like we did with this item, we're instead going to put it into server storage. Not replicated storage, because we don't want to use replicated storage for this. Because if we did it in replicated storage, a hacker could literally take it out of replicated storage and put it into their inventory for free. And we don't want that. So we're going to put it in server storage instead. Because server storage is... only the server can access server storage. However, anything can access replicated storage. So we're going to put it in server storage so it's a little more secure. In fact, we're going to put a folder in server storage. You don't have to do this. It's just to make it more neat. And we're just going to name this tools. Throw that in there and close it, call it a day, just for now. And then let's bring back up our screen GUI. View, UI visibility. In this item list, we're going to make a list item. So click the plus next to it and create an item inside the item list. And we're going to make, you can make a text label, or no, not a text label. You can make a text button, or you can make an image button. It really depends on what you want to do, to be honest. Me personally, I don't feel like making an image right now, so I'm just going to put a text button because I'm lazy. And what you could do is you could angle it manually. However, that's boring. So I'm actually going to delete this button right now. And in this item list, we're going to add another thing. We're going to make a UI list layout. You can also do a UI grid layout. Actually, we are going to do it. We're going to do a UI grid layout, not a UI list layout. UI grid layout. Put that in there, and then that's all you have to do. You just have to put it in there. And then we're going to make our text button. And notice how our text button is automatically scaled and everything. Here, I'm actually going to name this red tool. I'm going to name it the name of the item. But in this UI grid layout, we can make everything so that they're all unique. So in the cell size, this is basically how big it is. We do not want this to be 100 by 100. We want this to maybe be 20 by 20. So I'll do 35. Wow. I accidentally just deleted it. We're going to make it 35 by 35. That's not big enough. I mean, again, it's not like size matters. But 50 by 50, I'd say that's good enough. And then in the cell padding, you actually do want some cell padding. However, for the first item, you can't really put any cell padding, so we're not going to put cell padding for this. Instead, we're just going to make its border really big. So, border size pixel, we're going to make its border 2 pixels, which isn't really big, but it's big enough. I'm going to stop. And we're just going to name this the same thing as what it is, because we want to actually be able to identify these in our editor. So I'm just gonna call it red tool button, and then we can close out our item list. If you wanted to add another item, you would just make another button, and if we make another button, it'll automatically be in the list. It'll be in the list. See, it just lines up perfectly for us. You can edit the grid layout if you want to make it personalized, but I don't really care too much. And then go into your item info, and we're gonna put in the info values. So we're gonna put a text label here, make it transparent, and here's a little tip. If you want your game to look better, always set your text X alignments to left or right, because if it's in the center, whenever it increases, it'll scale on both sides. You only want it to scale on one side. I will actually, you don't have to do it like that. However, if you will make your game to look better to do that, then I would suggest doing that. And then we're just gonna make this name : space. That's just gonna be the text. And I'd like to make my text bold so you could see it a little better, because I have bad eyesight. And also, I don't really I don't like the size of this, so I'm gonna make it a little smaller. I don't like how it kind of sticks out. Boom, now we have our name. Here, I'm actually gonna name this name label, and then we're gonna Control D, and then we're gonna name this price label, and then we're gonna say price. We're gonna make this a little smaller though, or actually I'm just gonna unbold it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can make it look however you want. This is just how I'm doing it. And then we're gonna Control D our price, and we're gonna name this clicks. Actually, I'm gonna name this clicks per. And we kind of have our info laid out, and now the last thing we need to put in this info is just a text button, and we're gonna call this purchase. We're just gonna make it say purchase. And this is what you would click to actually purchase the item. So, I'm just gonna name it purchase button. Oh, also I forgot to name this clicks label. I'm just gonna name it clicks label. And also I still have to put the text in the button, so I'm just gonna name this. I'm just gonna not name it. I'm gonna put in the text purchase, and I'm gonna make it big, because I love it when it's big. And now we have our little shopping menu, but it has no scripting. So let's get to scripting. In this button right here, this is all we need to actually script, by the way. In this button, no, it's not all we need to script. I lied to you. In this button, we're gonna put a local script in here, and we're basically just gonna say whenever you press this button, fill in these info tabs. Fill in these little tabs right here. So let's do that right now. Script.parent. What the hell? Script.parent.mouse button one click connect function. Not player. We're just gonna put nothing in there. And then we're actually gonna do. You don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna do it. Local parent dir equals script.parent.parent. And then in here we're just gonna do parenter.item name value equals whatever your item name is. So I'm just gonna name it red tool, and then parenter.item price. Oh wait, no, not parent.parent. Parent.parent.parent. Whoopsie. Dot value, and then we're gonna make this whatever the price is. So for the price of this tool, I'm just gonna make it $20. And then parent directory dot item clicks equals 2, because that's how much clicks you get per. Since these are int values, actually, we can't even set these to whatever I did, remove the brackets for these because they're supposed to be ints, and we can save this. This works. This works. And then inside these, we need to make scripts for these, which basically tie them to the thing. So to do that, we're just gonna do local script. Oh wait, no, and we're gonna do while task dot wait do. So basically, this just makes a loop that to make a loop, sometimes you would do while true do and then wait so your game doesn't crash. However, if you just do while task dot wait do, that makes so you don't have to put that extra wait. So, and then we're just gonna do script dot parents dot text equals name dot script dot parent dot parent dot parent dot item name dot value. And we're gonna do practically the same for all of these, but instead we're just gonna say price, and we're gonna remove item name for item price. It's pretty much rinse and repeat. But actually, for the price and the clicks, we have to make this a number. So two strings. We're actually gonna have to do 2 string, and then brackets around them. But just copy that. Local script. Put that in there, and then clicks per. And instead of doing item price, we're just gonna do item clicks. It's as simple as that. And so now whenever you click a tool, it's going to update this, but we still have to make it so you could purchase the item. Still going to have to be able to purchase the item. So to be able to purchase the item, we're going to go into our purchase button, and we're going to make a script of the purchase button. You could have never thought. And we're also in this replicated storage, we're going to put another thing, another remote event, and we're going to call this purchase. Not archivable. Oh wait, no. Yes, archivable. Whoopsie. But we're gonna make a thing called purchase, and this local script inside the button. I'm actually just gonna. I don't like naming my scripts, but I will name this one. And then we're gonna do a script.parent.mouse button 1 click connect function, and then game dot replicated storage wait for child purchase fire server. And this is what we're going to pass in the fire server. In the fire server, all we actually have to pass is the name. If we pass the price, then hackers will be able to fake do the value. They'll be able to do the value manually, and they can set their own price, and we don't want that. So we're just going to pass the name. So we're going to pass script.parent.parent.item name.value. So we only want to pass in the name, because if we pass in any other value, hackers, malicious hackers, could buy things for free. And we do not want that. So yeah, we're just going to pass in the name. And now we need to go into our beautiful service script service main handler. It's been a while since I've seen this. And we're going to do another thing. Instead of naming this event, we're just going to do local purchase event equals game get service replicated storage wait for child purchase. See, this is so fun. Purchase event dot on server events connect function player item name. And now actually in here we want the item name to be the exact name that we are passing. The exact name. So I actually forgot to put a space here. We want to put a space there. We want the exact name. And then we're going to check. Then we're going to check if the item even exists in the first place. Maybe they passed on some bullshit value. So we're going to see if it's some bullshit value. To do that, we're going to do if game dot server storage find dot tools find first child item name, then so this just means we found the item. Woohoo! And then in this then, we're gonna just put, so if the item does exist, then we're gonna check if the player even has enough money. So we're gonna do if player dot leader stats leader stats wait for child. I think, yeah, it was money. Money dot value is greater than or equal to 20, which is the price. In fact, I want to put a value in this item. I'm going to put a value in the tool. So make sure you put a value in all your tools. Just an int value, a simple int value, and we're just going to name this price. We're going to put one on this basic item too. Price. This one's just going to be 0, but we do want to set this one to 20. And then we're actually going to do local tool equals game dot server storage dot tools find first child item name, and then we're gonna do if player dot leader stats wait for child money dot value is greater than or equal to tool dot price. We know there is always going to be a price, so we actually can do this because we know there will always be a price if we do it correctly. If the amount of money you have is greater than or equal to the amount of money that the price says it is, then you're booling, you're chilling. And then we're gonna do it then. And in this then, we're just gonna we're just gonna set tool. We're just gonna do tool equals tool clone, and then tool dot parent equals player dot backpack. And we actually need to make another leader stat. We're gonna make this leader stat current highest tool. Local highest tool equals instance dot new. I'm gonna make this a number value. And highest tool, we're not gonna set the parent to leader stats, but instead we're gonna set the parent to the player. And then highest tool dot name is equal to greatest tool. And then in this then we're gonna make a data store for it. So local tool data store equals data store service get data store tool, and we're also going to save it too. Tool data store set async player dot user id player wait for child. No, we actually don't want to do leader stats. We just want to do player wait for child greatest tool dot value. Oh my god, it's so hard. And then we also want to set the highest tool to the value. So highest tool dot value equals tool data store get async player dot user id or 0. And then we're actually gonna do on we have to do another thing. So game dot players. Oh wait, no, not game dot players. Inside this game dot players, since we want to run this on the server, but we don't know what player it is, we want to put it in this player added thing. So we're gonna do game. Oh no, we're gonna do player dot character added connect function char. So basically, whenever the player is playing the game, then we're gonna check if a character was added to the player, and every time a character is added, it's gonna run this right here. And so we're gonna do every time they reset or their new character spawns in. We're gonna do. Now this is kind of where it gets tricky, is we need to do indexing. And This is why it's my least favorite thing to do. Least. We're gonna actually make another int value inside the tool. We're gonna make another int value. Are you guys enjoying this? Because I sure am. And this value is going to be called weight. And we're gonna put another weight in here. So int value name it weight. We're gonna set this one to 0, and we're gonna set this one to 1. The weight is basically how good of a tool is it. Like, if you look at your menu, this is 1 because it's the first item you get. Well, actually, this one is 0 because that's the first item you get. But this one is 1 because it's the first item you buy. And then another one, you set that one to 2. See where I'm going here. and this main, we're going to do... Now, this is the tricky part. We're going to loop through every single item, and we're going to find the iterant. So, we're going to do local children equals game.server storage dot tools get children, and then we're going to do children, and then we're going to index right here. This is my favorite part. Oh, wait, no. And then we're going to do for IV in children do. So basically this is going to loop through every single object in this tools folder. It's going to loop through every single object in here. And then we're just going to do if v.weight.value is equal to highest tool.value, then if it's equal to the highest tool's value, then we're gonna give the player that tool, of course. So if it's equal to the highest tool value, then we're just gonna give the player the tool. Now this is actually a bad idea because it sets it to the highest tool. However, we don't want it to do that. We want it to refresh every time a player resets. So we're actually gonna do player dot greatest tool, so the actual greatest tool value. This will just update it. So if weight is equal to the greatest tool that value, then we're just gonna do local tool equals v clone v dot parent equals player dot backpack. That's as simple. It's as shrimple as that, baby. That's how we do it. And then let's go back into the handling. Now that we actually have that set up where our items will save whenever you leave the game or reset. Sorry I had to do that in between the things. But we're going to set it to the player's backpack, and now we give the player the item. But it doesn't subtract anything from their money, so we're going to make it subtract from their money. Player.leader stats, wait for child, money.value, less minus tool.price.value. And we also want to set the character's highest tool. So we want to set the character's highest tool to the weight of this tool. So why don't we indulge? Why don't we go in and do that, baby? Player wait for child highest tool dot value equals tool dot weight dot value. And boom, we should have our shopping done. We should have everything done. The last thing we need to do is this little exit button, and then we will be finished. Almost finished. Make a local script in the exit button, and then script dot parents dot mouse button one click connect function, and then we're just gonna do script dot parent destroy. So cool, so cool, so cool. And then yeah, that's so cool. And now we're gonna get rid of this for now. So just do view, UI visibility, close that out. We don't want to see that anymore. And now we're gonna make a little ring. I might as well just copy this and make it a different color. I'm gonna be honest, because I do not feel like doing all that. So I'm just gonna copy it and make it a different color because I'm lazy. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna make it blue instead because blue, big old thing. Use part color blue. Now it's blue. See that? It's blue. And we're gonna make this blue too. So boom, now we have our shop pad. You could put a building behind it. You could make it look however fancy you want. I'm just gonna name this shop pad. And then we're gonna edit the script because we literally just cloned it. In fact, we're gonna delete the script. We say get that out of here, and we're gonna delete it. Instead, we're gonna make a local script. The reason for this is because we want this to run locally and not on the server. And then we're actually gonna take our screen GUI right here that we made before. We're gonna drag it and we're gonna throw it in the part with the script. We're gonna throw it in the part with the script, and we're gonna name it something different. We're gonna name it shop UI because we're special. And then we're gonna do script.parent.touched connect. Actually, before we do that, we want to set up a cooldown. So local cooldown equals false. Script.parent.touched connect function part. If part.parent find first child humanoid, then player local player equals I did not mean to do that actually. I meant to do actually no, this is fine. Local player equals parts equals game.players get player from character parts.parent, and then we're gonna do local UI equals script.parent.shop UI clone UI.parent equals player.player GUI. And boom, I think we're finished. Why don't we give it a test? Why don't we give it a test and see if it works? Now, I put the tool in starter pack originally, but we don't want to put it in starter pack. We actually want to put this into our server storage with all of our other tools, and we're actually going to name this one, instead of item, we're just going to name it starter tool. So it actually seems I had a little bit of errors back on my my old thing. So first of all, we're gonna put a wait here. We're gonna put a wait for 1 second. Don't mind this. And then we're gonna copy all of this, including the wait. Not this though, not this end and everything. We just want to copy what's inside of it, including this wait. And we're gonna paste it right here where I pasted mine. And we're gonna change this one's wait to 1 because I don't know, I was set to 2. That was one of my errors in the beginning, and also I also made an error by making this a local script. This should not be a local script. This should be a server script. And also I forgot to even set the cooldown, so we're gonna do cooldown equals true, and then wait 1. Cooldown equals false. And now we're gonna try and test it and see if it works. And then again, it's probably gonna be the last iteration of the series since there isn't really anything else to teach you. Make this your own. Make it your own and be special. Bloom like a flower in the wind. What? Hold up. Hold up. Oh my god, why is there so many of them? Why is there so... Holy wiener ball, man. I'm gonna delete some of these. What the flip? Item... You're trolling. You're literally trolling. I hate when Roblox does that. Sometimes Roblox likes to fuck with you a little bit. They like to tickle your pickle sometimes and tell you that things don't exist when they do. Fix this error. Oh my god. You're really getting me fired up, buddy. Go back to your shop. Sorry, this is one of the extra errors. I'm actually leaving this part in the video. I'm not gonna lie. Item list, go back into your thing, and since it wants to be so not cool, we're gonna give it extra time to think. Wait for child. Item clicks. Dot value. We're gonna give it extra time to really think about what they're saying before they act. And now we can test this. Ha! I am filled with rage for the Roblox Corporation. Why do you have to do this to me? Also, I did notice I did have an error with my scripting. I forgot to put value at the end, but it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna go with it anyways, and we're gonna test our game and see if it works. This is gonna be so fun, guys. Don't you love scripting? Isn't this so fun? Wouldn't you love to spend 5 years of your life doing this? I mean, it must be amazing, right? I'm actually gonna fix this error where it summons 3 billion of them. I'm sorry, I forgot to fix this later. Let's see what happens. Oh my god! Purchase? Oh my god! We have the red tool! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god, I think I'm combusting! Ah! Okay, now it's time to actually fix the error. Oh, I crashed my Roblox studio. Oh, it just froze. Alright. Now we're going to actually fix the error where it summons 3 billion GUIs. We're going to fix that right now. This is going to be so fun. So fun! Don't you guys think this is so fun? I could not be having a better time right now. In here, we're also just gonna wait. In the player, we're just gonna check if player GUI find first child shop UI. Actually, we're gonna put a not. If not, then. And we're going to put in a little extra end here because we're a little extra too. You have to put that end, by the way. If you don't, it's not going to work correctly. But now our game should be perfected, and I am done with this fucking series. I am done. By the way, that's not me raging, by the way. This is just I am so excited to share my love for Roblox Studio. Save, publish to Roblox. And you're done with your game. I have nothing else to teach you. Make pets or some shit. Make a map. Be productive and don't spend 5 years learning this shit like I have. I'm logging out. Bye-bye. Subscribe to me pretty please if you want to support me so I can actually get to other people's video feeds. I'll see y'all in the next video, hopefully.